Remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. In this episode, I'll be analyzing each episode of Teen Titans Season 3. You know the drill. The Season 3 soundtrack hasn't been released yet. If you're interested in my writing philosophy, check out my story theory playlist for more details. The Hive are finally back. That immediately puts this above Season 2. Cyborg comes with the quips instead of Robin, alluding to the fact that this is a Cyborg episode. During the fight, we learn that the Hive Academy has a new leader and has been getting his students to raid banks. After the intro, the Titans decide that they need a spy to infiltrate Hive. I did not realize that this was that episode until that was said. Cyborg shows up with new rings that allow him to look fully human with a holographic generator. Then Robin says he looks normal and Cyborg responds awkwardly. Poor word choice. This time, Cyborg talks about his past with Starfire. She prefers the Cyborg we know, but Cyborg misses being just human. He dresses up as a new character, Stone, which is part of his real name, Victor Stone. At the Hive Academy, we see Bumblebee, Seymour, Kid Wicked, Billy Numerous, and Private Hive. They will become important later. There are other small characters like Angel, but I didn't even remember them before looking them up. The main Hive trio tries to bully Stone, but he fights back. His ability is turning his body into stone. During practice, the headmaster is shown in the shadows. The trio shouts an attack pattern, which they also did in final exam, but Stone doesn't know it. At the end of practice, Stone turns into him and saves the trio. The headmaster, Brother Blood, is impressed by Stone. This season is Cyborg season, and Blood is the main antagonist. What's interesting about their designs is that they both have the same dark circles under their eyes and the same eyebrows. When Blood gives his speech, everyone's eyes start glowing red, like his. This looks like mind control. During Cyborg's hazing, the woman from Every Dog Has His Day is shown laughing in the bottom right corner. Why is she here? Stone gets accustomed to the Hive life and starts pulling Jinx. Robin starts freaking out about Cyborg's mission, and it's funny. When Cyborg finds the ion amplifier, Blood emerges from the shadows and reveals that he knows Stone is Cyborg. Blood shows that he's the perfect villain for this season when he temporarily gives Cyborg his real hand back. His reaction to his arm going back to his robot form shows how obsessed he is with his human form. This is his ghost, as John Truby would say. The ghost is an event from the past that haunts a character. Cyborg turning into a cyborg is his ghost. Becoming human again is one of his wants. This kind of reminds me of the Elric brothers. Back to the story. Blood says that if Cyborg serves him, he can make him human again, to which Cyborg agrees. Before he was made human, his eyes glowed red for a moment, making it seem as if Cyborg has now been put under mind control. I'm telling you, Blood is a perfect villain so far. When the trio and Stone attack, Stone now knows the attack patterns. Chekhov's attack pattern. During the fight, the fake Cyborg says Titans go. Stone is putting the hands on Robin, while saying he isn't acting. The Titans get trapped in a bubble, like the other great Cyborg episode. Stone murders the Cyborg clone, and breaks his rings while doing it. His eyes glow red again when Blood gives him the ion amplifier to shoot his former allies. When he points the gun, the opposite eye visual is done between him and Blood, like Slade and Terra. Cyborg shoots Blood at the last second and the building goes down. You could have been one of us. I could have been a lot of things. Killer dialogue. Who wrote this? Rob Hoagie. He also wrote Final Exam, Every Dog Has His Day, Transformation, Employee of the Month, The End Part 2, Homecoming Part 1, Snowblind, partially wrote Lightspeed, and Titans Together. That is one heck of a resume. A lot of great episodes in here. The Raven transition is cool. The brainwashing is confirmed, and Cyborg was able to bypass this because half of his own brain was electronic. Once again, both his human and machine side offer positives in this episode, despite Cyborg preferring the human side. Starfire checks up on Cyborg to come full circle as he removes his ring. He explains that he never finished high school because of his robotic surgery, so being at the Hive made him feel normal, the same word that Robin used. Then the Queen Starfire says, I didn't know you before, so to me, you are normal. Give my man Rob a raise. The episode ends with the Titans doing initiation, like the Hive, giving him that normal high school feeling that he's missed. I guess the theme would be, normal is based on perspective. I think the theme is weak because it only comes up in that one scene, and I don't think it's a great message in general because it sounds like we're being told that Cyborg should base his perception of himself off of others. Since Starfire only knew Cyborg as a cyborg, he can feel normal. That doesn't sound like a good message because happiness is being achieved from external factors rather than internal. Remember that, because it'll come up later. Despite this nitpicking, this episode was excellent and the best season opener by far. Cyborg's internal conflict is brilliant and the writers found a new way to tackle his recurring ghost. Brother Blood having relevance in his internal conflict makes him the perfect villain for Cyborg. If you think he's good now, wait till later. I am almost certain that by the end of this season, this episode will go right under Only Human in my all-time ranking of episodes. Season 3 really wants to go back to back like it's Jordan 96-97, because they're following up Deception with X, an episode about Red X, one of my favorite characters. This is a Robin episode. The intro has a sick narration from Robin about the line between good and evil as the Titans chase a blacked out foe. At the end, it's revealed to be the king, Red X. My boy has new powers like teleportation and energy beams. Like Robin in the suit, he's handling the 1v5 like it's nothing, except Robin only ever did a 1v4. Robin turns it to him and starts soloing Red X. The choreo here looks fantastic. The red and blue lighting on X when he makes Raven and Cyborg hit each other looks beautiful. Red X flirts with Starfire, showing that he has more in common with Robin than just his moves. He also makes a lot of quips. Starfire checking to see if Robin is a hologram like the last time is a nice bit of continuity. Robin goes back to the line between good and evil as he reflects on his mistake of becoming Red X. The visuals during the narration look spectacular, but like I said in Season 1, the ramifications of him becoming Red X were never truly explored. We're told that they were mad at him at the end of one episode. We never see the lack of trust. When theorizing who X is, Beast Boy brings out his wild theories again. On the board, there's Nightwing, Larry, and Jason Todd. Jason Todd is the second Robin after Grayson, who was more hot-headed and died, but was then revived. After the creation of Red X, Jason was given the identity of Red Hood, which was an anti-hero. Red Hood first appeared in 2005. This episode came out in 2004. Because of Robin and Red X's similarities, Jason Todd's aggressive behavior, the writer suggesting the idea of X being Todd, and the retroactive decision to make Todd Red Hood. I believe that Red X is most likely Jason Todd in this universe. Beast Boy getting mad at not understanding Xenothium is hilarious because the same thing happened in Season 1 with Slade's Chromium. Robin having powered the suit with a dangerous material reiterates his past level of obsession. When Cyborg asked Robin how he would find Xenothium without a scanner, he said, "The same way I found it the first time." Who wrote this episode? This is by David Slack. I already covered this episode in Season 1. The way Robin interrogates Chang reminds me of Batman. Robin is blaming himself, showing his over-serious nature again. Red X shows up with quips like he's Robin. When Robin charges at Red X, the animated background, shaky camera, and slight blur look amazing. When hunting Red X again, Robin shows he's him by using the cannon that was firing at him to burn down the safe X was in. Red X says Robin is taking life way too seriously, which is accurate. But if X is Todd, Grayson would be older, so calling him Kid all the time wouldn't make sense. The fight animation looks fantastic, and I see slight motion blur. This might be the best looking fight so far. The Chekhov's Chang returns as the true bad guy. He stole the Xenothium X was stealing, and also froze the remaining Titans. Robin and X are knocked out, and this is the midpoint. We learned that Red X isn't exactly a psychotic villain like many in the past, he's just selfish. Robin puts X in jail and goes to save the day. X looks at the lock. That's a setup. Robin turns it to him and solos the guards. I like how Xenothium is shown to be able to change its state of matter. That would explain all the cool tricks and masks in this episode. Robin's use of the enemy Xenothium makes for a creative fight. The amazing moving background is shown once again when Robin runs from Chang's cannon. When Chang is about to shoot Starfire, Red X comes to save the day, stopping the cannon and stopping Robin's fall. These two make a fantastic duo and share the same moves. Once Chang is defeated, X goes back to being a scoundrel and tries to steal Xenothium, but is stopped by the Titans. Raven and Robin both have quips, and then Robin disrespects X by stealing his utility belt without his knowledge. Red X runs away, and Starfire holds Robin like they're dating. The episode comes full circle when Robin starts narrating at the end. This time he says that the line is hard to find. Robin specifically says, "Does one good deed make him a hero?" This is the theme, and it perfectly applies to Tara. She did so many horrible things, but one good deed at the end of her life had the Titans looking at her like a hero. I like how Robin says he doesn't know the answer to this question. Robin crouching on the top of the tower looks like how Batman crouches on gargoyles. I like that the tower is being rebuilt since it was shot during the fight. The theme is that the line between good and evil isn't clear or simple. That's such a mature and nuanced take, which is expected of this cartoon by now. Phenomenal episode. I love seeing heroes and villains team up to defeat a greater threat. Season 4 has more of that, and it's just as good. Red X is an amazing character, and I wish we saw more of him. He only appears one more time if I remember correctly, which is sad because he's so good. Season 2 really went back to back at the start. This is a Starfire episode. When she says she's getting married, only Robin falls down. Robin is also the one who keeps asking about the marriage. He asks the same question 3 times and it's hilarious. The T-ship displays the ability to separate like his Voltron. This appears in a later episode. The foreshortening when Robin pulls a lever looks great. When they arrive on Tamaran, we're introduced to Starfire's nanny and we learn that she's a princess. Robin is still in a bad mood and Cyborg throws salt on the wound by asking if he knew any of this. Beast Boy is introduced to an alien animal. That's the setup. Blackfire is revealed to be the ruler of Tamaran and she forces her sister to marry some ugly monster. She is petty. Later, when Robin wants to stop the marriage, Cyborg asks if he's jealous. This is the first verbal confirmation of any kind of romance between Robin and Starfire. Robin goes detective mode and orders the Titans to gather clues. The comedy duo finds out that Blackfire is hiding the fact that the ships are remote controlled. Raven hears that Black was actually scheming, like Robin said. Robin is unable to reason with Star before he's captured. This is the midpoint. She wants to do what's right for Tamaran, but Galforce says, "You must do what's right in your heart." That's probably the theme of the episode. The Titans break out and Beast Boy uses the Chekhov's alien to turn into the alien animal he saw before. Right before Star can accept her new husband, Robin screams her name from a balcony through glass like it's the graduate. Starfire refuses, is made aware of the scheming, and challenges Blackfire for the crown. The sisters have a DBZ fight in which Star breaks the jewel powering Black, allowing her to win. She finally got her win because in Sisters, the fight was interrupted. In a plot twist, Star makes Galfor the Emperor and returns home with the Titans, following the theme. She says Earth is her real home, then she not so subtly says that there might be a groom for her on Earth. This episode was good. It had all the usual suspects of a good Teen Titans episode. This is a goofy Beast Boy episode, and it has the Japanese intro. BB does some dumb stuff and gives Cyborg a virus. The way BB is drawn looks different. The Titans get Gizmo to fix him. This is a good use of the supporting cast. Beast Boy turns into a cell to join Gizmo in fighting Cyborg. The CG red blood cells look terrible. Beast Boy feels dumb, as he should, and remorseful about his actions. At the end, he's able to do something smart, which is multiplying as a cell to defeat the virus. I don't care for this episode. Unlike the other goofy episodes, it's not entertaining. It isn't funny, nor does it have good action. They gave BB some kind of internal conflict, but at the cost of making him incredibly stupid. Probably the worst episode so far. Episode 5 is Haunted. The episode starts with Robin staying up late, monitoring motionless security cameras. His obsession is back again. He goes to check Slade's mask because a body was never found. There's some dust and he coughs. Cyborg tries to get him to chill out, but they're interrupted by commotion caused by Cinderblock. Robin comes with the quips, and the battle starts. The animation here looks better than usual. BB's Triceratop attack and Cyborg's cannon punch look great. There's motion blur in the movement, and the energy attacks glow brighter, even having lens flares. When Robin falls down, he spots Slade and begins chasing him down, but he's able to disappear when lightning strikes and never attacks. Slade says he laid down 3 seismic generators and gives their exact locations, but none of the Titans are able to find them. Robin gets mad at their incompetence before seeing Slade again. The rain making his spiked up hair fall down visually communicates his descent into his obsessive nature. So do his contorted facial expressions. Slade beats up Robin and runs past Starfire, but she's unable to see him. Once again, there's a mystery on our hands. Robin snaps and Star says there was no one there. Robin ditches the team to look for Slade himself. That's a constant reoccurrence, someone ditching the team. He says that he used cloaking technology to hide from Star, but how come Robin could see him? The two start fighting again and Slade performs his signature fist grab. The animation here also has motion blur. It reminds me of Samurai Champloo. The brief exchange from a side view looked cool, especially when the camera followed Robin being thrown across the bridge. Robin gets the crap beaten out of him, but when the Titans find him, he's by himself and getting slapped around by nothing. Robin starts criticizing his team, but then Star asks why only he can see Slade. Robin is going insane and threatens to fight his own allies if they get in his way, so Star shoots him to neutralize him. That's the second time a teammate has used their powers to stop Robin. When he's strapped to a bed, Slade appears again. Meanwhile, Star is losing her temper again because the others can't find anything wrong with Robin, despite him acting out of character. This is like when they couldn't find Robin in Final Exam. Robin escapes his binds and closes off the tower. Raven uses the Black Raven to enter Robin's mind. When entering his mind, the visuals that are shown are Slade's mask in the basement, a shadow silhouette of Alfred giving Robin a suit in a cave, and the latter seemingly rejecting it, and the flying Graysons falling to their death. Raven sees through Robin's eyes and gets snuck by Slade. Robin with Raven's eyes looks like a mistake. The Titans learn that Robin truly believes he's fighting Slade. The visual of the light flickering and causing Slade to flicker in and out of reality is a cool way of showing how he's only partially real. Robin starts to believe his friends and realizes all the clues. He concludes that Slade is only in his mind and in the dark, so he turns on the lights, eliminating his nemesis. In the conclusion, it's revealed that Slade's mask had a chemical that caused Robin to hallucinate and even feel Slade. Robin said he felt like he's alone in hunting Slade, but the Titans assure him that they'll always be with him. I guess the theme is, you're not alone, or obsession can become detrimental. Robin finally gets some rest like Cyborg suggested in the beginning. Full circle. The episode ends with Cyborg revealing that someone triggered the release of Slade's chemicals, and a cut to Slade's mask. Future, you may finish the entire show, and this was never followed up on. This was a great episode. Once again, the writers dive into Robin's primary character flaw, and they find a new way to explore it and push him to his limit. Before, there was Robin turning into a villain to get close to Slade. Now, there's Robin hallucinating that the defeated Slade is still around and planning something. The episode also had a fantastic mystery that was solved in a satisfying way. The dust from the mask was shown early on, but not focused on too much. Just a small cough. Then there were many hints, and the reveal that Slade had a post-mortem trick is believable for a schemer like him. This is a Raven episode. It opens with a wizard named Malkior fighting a dragon. Using his own 3-word incantation, he defeats the dragon, but it comes back and almost burns him. Raven's reading is interrupted by a crime alert. The Titans fight Cardiac, and Robin makes a pretty solid pun. The group uses team attacks, which is a great way of showing their chemistry, but it's all ineffective. Raven gets serious and destroys the heart so that she can go back to her book. Her being deeply invested in something is a rare sight. Raven's book keeps getting interrupted by others. Robin checked up on her, Star wanted to hang out, and Cyborg and Beast Boy wanted to play their new game with her. After being denied, BB uncharacteristically complains about her abnormalities and creepiness. This makes her feel some type of way. I get that the writers wanted to have an internal conflict about her feeling different, but I don't think making BB act out of character and blow up on her was the right move. The book started talking to her with Malkior's voice after she felt lonely. He says that he's Malkior and that the dragon trapped him in the pages of the book with a curse. He starts flirting with Raven and it kinda works. This is the first serious romantic attraction she's shown. Aqualad doesn't count. She's unable to break the curse, so they just talk and they get along well. The next morning, BB notices that Raven is stuck in her room, so he goes to apologize. That's in character, so now I'm not as bothered by the earlier event. She stays in her room and follows Malkior's instructions to cast a spell that can give him a physical form. The wizard starts teaching her all of his knowledge so that she can perform the spell. Her outfit goes from dark blue to light blue. Now her signature energy Raven is bright green instead of black. The two get more physical. When Raven appears to the Titans again, her outfit is completely white once again. This is the third time I believe. Her clothes seem to turn white whenever she reaches some kind of enlightenment. Raven has the new ability to morph Beast Boy. Raven shows up to the Cardiac fight and uses some new incantation, which results in an unintentionally destructive attack that almost harms the child inside. The Titans work together to stop her and save the child. BB snaps on her again and she runs away. The parallax scroll when the Titans stand holding the child looks cool. Raven gets mad at Malkior for teaching her dark magic. He brings back his dark versus misunderstood argument and asks if she wants to be alone, which moves her to tears as she says no, so she agrees to cast the spell. Then the plot twist happens. Malkior and Rorex's names were switched, making Malkior the dragon. A nice little detail is the choice of the voices. The entire time, the wizard from the story sounded like the person that Raven has been talking to. This could be seen as a cheap way to trick the audience, but it makes sense. Raven imagined the wizard's voice one way, so when she thought she was talking to the wizard, he had the same voice. This is the midpoint. The dragon wreaks havoc. I like the green sky. BB tries to check on Raven, but she tells him to leave. I like how they left this thread untied so that it could finish later. During the fight, Robin takes 2 bird rings and combines them to make a sword. That was so cool, and I wish he did it more often. Raven defeats the dragon by using the same curse that the original wizard used. That's a smart strategy. After the victory, she turns back to her regular color scheme. At the end, the loose plot thread of BB and Raven is tied up, which is good writing. BB consoles her and says that even though she's creepy, she doesn't have to distance herself. Quote, "You think you're alone, Raven, but you're not," end quote. That's the closest line to the theme. I'd say the theme is, just because people aren't similar, doesn't mean they can't be your friends. And then vice versa. Raven hugs Beast Boy and joins in the sport that he and Cyborg created. This episode was excellent. I didn't like some of BB's earlier characterization, but I can definitely say it was worth it for that resolution. The writers created a rift between the two so that they could mend it and make it even stronger than before the start of the episode. Raven shows a more emotional and insecure side, which fleshes out her character really well. I'm surprised, but this is also one of my favorites this season. The idea of a British man trying to take back America is interesting. The theme song is in Japanese again. Robin comes with quips and has his age switched with Mad Mod. Last time, young Mod was achieved through holograms, but this time, Mad Mod actually becomes younger. The jokes towards Britain and their accents are kind of funny, especially when Beast Boy turns British. Greg Sipes really nailed it. I like how each of the 4 suggests a different plan. Contrast between the members makes a group more unique. And then they use democracy to vote on a plan. Mad Mod brings back the hologram trick from the first episode to trap the Titans. As usual, the logic of the action is kinda inconsistent. When first fighting the robots, Cyborg injured his hand trying to punch one, but here, he punches a hole through one with ease. I do like how they try each of the suggested plans, except for Beast Boy's unrealistic one. None work though. Beast Boy's mashup history joke was hilarious. At the darkest hour, the heroes learn the theme. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. I like how Starfire, the alien foreigner, is the first to understand this message and apply it to America and themselves. They all come up with one plan that will work. The patriotism is a little too much for me. They're acting like America didn't and doesn't still have issues. Like in Final Exam, they start by attacking from off-screen, which makes them mysterious and threatening. The consistency and power breaks once again when Cyborg fires a shot and takes down about 20 robots. The other Titans all get a power boost too and take out several robots on their own. Just when I was about to ask what the new plan even was, they execute it. A nice detail is that when Cyborg is captured, he's only shown from the left, so you can't initially see that his right arm is missing. But when Mod walks to Star, you can see it, but it's not focused on. The detached arm was first used in Final Exam and is part of the plan alongside BB. The plan works and everything returns to normal. Another small detail is Starfire's hard eyes before hugging Robin. While this was a more comedic episode, it actually had a theme. It's not bad. I don't know if I called this a Starfire episode though. She's only the main character for about 10% of the runtime. This is an episode that progresses the overarching plot. Aqualad shows up to alert the Titans of Blood's new plan. The first detail that interests me is him saying, "My city." This sets up the Titans East. The second detail is Aqualad contacting the spy in Hive Academy. I like how casually that's dropped so the audience can forget about it. The third is that Blood is using Cyborg's tech for his sonic resonator, giving him more of a connection to Cyborg. Cyborg takes this as a personal challenge and wants to defeat him, but Robin is thinking more logically and wants Cyborg to stay back. I understand both sides. If someone copied my abilities in order to do evil, I'd want to bring them down personally, but approaching things from a strategic standpoint also makes sense. At the enemy base, Bumblebee, who was seen in episode 1, is introduced as Blood's assistant. Her name and design also flow well with Hive. All of this serves as a perfect distraction for the audience. When the Titans reach the base, Robin gives the orders, but Cyborg wants to change the plan, but Robin denies this opportunity and reminds him to stick to the plan. Cyborg monologues his anger towards Robin and his desire to get personal revenge. We've seen Cyborg lead several times in the past, so this detail finally causing the two to clash is a great idea for a payoff. Blood forces Cyborg to fight Bumblebee, who he says wasn't a spy. Ironic. The art gets highly detailed when Bumblebee shrinks, giving Cyborg multiple layers of shading. A small nitpick is how come Bee has the same physical strength when she's tiny, but her shocks are weaker. The first person perspective cut when Bumblebee flew was cool. I like how the writers remember that Blood has brainwashing when Cyborg questions how Bee was a spy, but her explanation is horrible. She says, "There's not a man alive that can tell me what to do." When Bee gave him a hand, he ignored it. Then Cyborg gets another opponent in leadership. Bumblebee believes she should be in charge because she was spying longer and helped build the place, but Cyborg believes that since it's his tech, he has authority. She also read his blueprints and knows how to shut down the resonator. Then Bee throws salt on the wound by asking why Robin's in charge if it's his mission. The other Titans get trapped and prevent Cyborg from stopping the resonator from firing. Cyborg and Blood start fighting, but Blood is reading him like a book because he read his blueprints. Cyborg tries shoulder missiles, which is a first, but it doesn't work. BB turning into an eel to get past electricity was smart. Once the Titans finish their parts, Bee comes in to save Cyborg. This time he takes her hand, and they agree on their roles in the mission. Everything works out and the day is saved. Bee suggests Cyborg coming with her and Aqualad since Blood is headed east, but he decides to stay. She returns the blueprints, and after Robin says, "Time to go," Cyborg says it just might be, suggesting that he might join the Titans in the east. The episode did a good job at furthering the overarching plot and character arc, but it didn't have a theme. Cyborg got done dirty this episode. It was supposed to be his mission, but he got ordered around by Robin, lost to Bee, and then lost to Blood. All of this disappointment will stack up for a satisfying payoff though. This is a Beast Boy episode. It starts with Adonis slapping the Titans around. He flirts with Raven, making her equal with Starfire in the amount of times a villain flirts with them. Actually, the wizard from Spellbound counts, so she's up one. After being insulted, Beast Boy beats up Adonis and they both get hit by chemicals. BB's attitude has changed and he says that he's gotten sick of being pushed around. He walks off without the team like a gangster. It happened again. In the morning, his bed has claw marks on it. He also eats meat and eggs despite being vegetarian. I like this attention to detail. He's also disrespectful to Robin, which was pretty funny. Then we get a montage of Beast Boy becoming more aggressive and rude. I love how Raven switched from apologizing for something that wasn't her fault to taking back her apology and fighting back after BB disrespected her. He actually tries to fight her before being stopped by the others. Raven goes to check up on Beast Boy while he's transforming into a new beast, and they both end up disappearing. The Titans search for them and find Beast Boy in his new form with Raven hanging from his mouth. This makes it seem like he's the one who dragged her out of the tower, but how he puts her down gently before fighting is a hint towards the truth. After being defeated, the Green Beast reverts to Beast Boy. At the base, Robin and Star believe that BB attacked Raven, but BB doesn't. Things get extreme when Robin actually threatens to put Beast Boy in jail if he can't remember what happened. Another mystery-based episode. The chemicals are brought up, and after enough pressure, Beast Boy transforms again. He wants Raven, but the Titans protect her, so he runs away. Cyborg tries to reason with him and almost gets through to him, but Robin's interruption ruins that. When Raven wakes up, she reveals that Beast Boy protected her, but from what? When the duo spots Beast Boy, they get ambushed by another beast. The plot twist is that Adonis also transformed and was the one who attacked Raven. This is a great Chekhov's gun because Adonis got splashed with chemicals at the same time as BB, and he showed interest in Raven earlier in the episode. Beast Boy hits Adonis with Hidden Lotus and wins the battle, thus revealing the answers. At the end of the episode, Raven talks to Beast Boy, and this scene gives us the theme. Having that thing inside you doesn't make you an animal. Knowing when to let it out makes you a man. The episode closes with a funny bit. This theme could be simplified to, there's a time and place to assert dominance, which is a good message. Beast Boy and Raven often have great episodes together. This is probably my favorite Beast Boy one because he isn't treated like an idiot or just comic relief. He even gets tired of being treated like a joke, which is a reasonable reaction. Although in this episode specifically, no one really treated him like that. He's even cool because he solos the Titans and finishes the main antagonist on his own, twice. This episode is like the polar opposite of Crash. This is a Starfire episode, and the intro is in Japanese again. The action looks more creative, and Robin brings out Tonfas for the first time. After the fighting, the episode brings back Silky, who was introduced in Date with Destiny. Beast Boy gives Silky to Starfire, and she gets attached to him. The episode consists of the pet causing troubles while Star tries to hide him from the Titans. At the midpoint, Star gets rid of Silky, and Moth finds him. He turns the worm into a moth, and fights the Titans with it. At the end of the episode, Silky turns back to normal and is allowed to stay at the tower. This episode wasn't good. The plot was lackluster, the characterization was decent, but there was no arc present. There was no theme. The action wasn't great. The music wasn't noticeable. Even the comedy wasn't good. Just an overall dud. Yet another joke episode with a Japanese intro. Mumbo Jumbo returns and turns the Titans into animals so he can put on a show. It's kind of funny how the one Titan who turned into a bunny normally wears something close to a bunny girl outfit. Did the writers intend for this? I doubt it, but it's possible. The writers on JLU were on something else when it came to sexual innuendos. The wiki has a whole page for them. Anyway, Mumbo is an entertaining villain with B-Taz Joker energy. I just wish he was given a more competent episode rather than a joke episode. I guess this counts as a Raven episode because she's the one who comes up with the winning strategy. This episode has the same problems as the last. There's not much to talk about here because it's all just jokes, but the next two should breathe life back into this season. Blood is back and he wants revenge on Cyborg. Cyborg sings an altered version of the theme. The only other time I remember the song being sung in the show is in the movie. 3 minutes into the episode and it's already funnier than the last two. Cyborg left the west coast to go to the east and help the Titans East set up the new tower in Steel City, where Blood is. Interestingly enough, the exposition is given after we see Cyborg heading to Steel City, putting the question of what's going on in our heads. On the east side, the Titans are dysfunctional, and that makes them more entertaining. I love the little similarities the east side has to the west side. Robin and Speedy have similar movesets and designs. Aqualad doesn't eat fish like Beast Boy. Bumblebee is the bossy leader like Robin. Mossy Menos are foreigners like Starfire. These Titans are extremely dysfunctional, even in battle. Their poor performance in combat reminds me of the first episode when the Sonic Boom failed. Cyborg comes up with a great strategy and leads his team to victory. Finally, Cyborg's plotline of being a leader is paying off. But during the fight, Steamroller downloaded the keys to the tower for Brother Blood. Blood wants to make their tower his new school after he lost 2 bases. Back at the tower, the Titans work together to fix the place up. Small detail, Bumblebee is visibly upset when the twins prevent her from dancing with Sparky. Robin orders Cyborg to return to Westside since his job is done there, but the Eastside wants him to stay as their leader. Before Cy can make a decision, the Hive attacks. Cyborg says Titans go. The robot soldiers all look similar to Cyborg and have his cannons. Cyborg orders everyone to stay together, but the amateurs split up. The music when the characters split up sounds good. The house getting infiltrated reminds me of when it happened to Westside in Season 2. The transition from Speedy flying back to Aqualad hitting the wall was clean. Blood shows up again and squares up with Cyborg. Like the last time, he's untouchable. Some of the other Titans tried good strategies, like Aqualad going to the ocean or the twins using power tools to undo the robots, but they're all being taken down one by one. There's a little motion blur when Blood is bobbing and weaving. They should keep using it. I like how Cyborg finally tries some new tricks. He uses a shoe cannon, which was in Winner Take All, and a unibeam to land surprise attacks on Blood. Blood is obsessed with figuring out why Cyborg can't resist his mind control. Blood says that only he has resisted him, but Bumblebee did too. Plus, it was explained that Cyborg having a half-electronic brain allowed him to resist brainwashing. He manages to activate the tower defense and shoot Blood out of the window. At the end of the episode, Cyborg puts his foot down and tells Robin that he's staying on the East Coast, but then it's revealed that the Titans East have been mind-controlled all along and are playing him. What happened to "No man can tell me what to do," Bumblebee? I guess that answers why Blood wasn't obsessed with B. This episode was pretty good. We haven't got any payoff yet, so it's not amazing, but it is setting up an interesting story and finally capitalizing on the Cyborg leadership subplot. I like how Robin fights to get Cyborg back and even brings up how he knows what it's like to be obsessed with taking down a villain. The two get into a heated argument. Cyborg thinks Robin doesn't think he's capable of handling it. Robin thinks Cyborg is being selfish by quitting his team. Cyborg mentions being a man. Chang, who was mentioned in the previous episode when Robin called Cyborg back, is being mind controlled by Blood here. Chang pulls out a knife and performs surgery because Blood wants to be Cyborg so badly. I like the scheming side of Blood, and I think it could have been sprinkled more throughout the season, like Slade in Season 1. Robin handles this in a surprisingly mature manner after blowing up on him. He says that they should let Cyborg go, and it's a good opportunity for him. Eastside betrays the boy so quickly. Cyborg has to fight the form. B is the only one who temporarily breaks free when Cyborg tries to wake her up. After they knock him out, Brother Blood shows up and basically admits that he's a fanboy while revealing his cyborg body. He wants to turn his students into cyborgs so that he can manipulate more people at a time. Not a bad plan. Before he can dissect Cyborg to see what allows him to defy him, Westside shows up to save the day. Cyborg is kicking himself for being a bad leader, but when he asks what the plan is, Robin tells him to take charge. We're coming full circle. This is your enemy, your technology, your mission. Robin finally gets with the program and even lets him lead the Westside. Using his knowledge of the tower and his own weaknesses, Cyborg helps him sneak around. I wish the electronic eye being unable to see low ultraviolet light was set up earlier. Still smart planning. When restrained, B is breaking out of the spell again, but he puts her back under his control. When the Titans show up, it's Westside versus Eastside. I like the dramatic lineup. Cyborg says Titans go. Cyborg orders Westside's plays and leads them to victory, but Blood teleports him away and the Eastside gets back up. Cy gets a 1v1, but he's losing again, even getting his fist caught like Slade did to Robin. Cy and Blood do a single stroke battle like Samurai, and Cy has a delayed effect of losing his arm. The anime influence is strong here. Westside is handling Eastside, but Blood sends in the robots for help. Meanwhile, Cyborg is literally getting ripped apart. Part of his chest gets scraped away along with his other 3 limbs. Blood has all the Titans restrained and is searching for what allows Cyborg to resist. Blood says he could have made Cy into a man. Cyborg responds with, "It's not the machine that resists you, it's me, my spirit, that's the part you can't break." Then he absorbs parts from the soldiers to rebuild his body, claiming that he's already a man. This is a cool scene, but the logic is suspect. His half-robot brain was a good reason for why he couldn't be brainwashed, but now it's his spirit? Cy was never established as a character that had an especially indomitable will compared to the other Titans, so this logic comes out of nowhere. Then Cyborg uses Ultra Instinct to handle Blood. He pays him back by grabbing both his fists, forcing him down onto his knees, and breaking both arms. This power is said to be a one-time deal, and is explained by Cyborg counter-hacking Blood's brain. It'd be cool if they at least kept his robot absorption as a permanent new move, like Star's eye beams. Moss and Menos flirt with Star, putting her on the same level as Raven. Cyborg goes back to the West because he already has a team, and the East already has a leader, B. This was actually set up because she was trying to lead the team before Cyborg showed up. I was about to criticize the episode for having an unclear theme, but there's one more scene. Robin asks Cyborg what changed his mind. Cyborg says, "I always thought I was missing something I needed to become a man. My own team, my own mission, my own skin. So Blood did manage to teach me one lesson. I'm not missing a thing." In simple terms, the theme is, internal satisfaction doesn't come from external objects or achievements, or in even simpler terms, happiness comes from within. Remember what I said about the first episode of the season? This has a much better theme than Deception. There's actually an interesting theme that changes the way I see Cyborg in these episodes. I never realized Cyborg was trying to fill a void until he said that, but if I go back and rewatch the key episodes, I believe I'd be able to see that. I thought he just wanted to be a leader, but the writers went deeper and revealed that he wanted his own team to bring himself internal satisfaction, since he thought he wasn't a man yet. I wish this lack of inner peace was set up more in earlier episodes. I also like how they keep making school-based metaphors throughout the episode, because Blood is obsessed with having a school and students. This was a pretty good season. It's better than season 2, but not 1. In terms of overarching plots, 1 is the best, then 3, then 2. Slade was much more present in his season compared to Blood. Slade was in episode 1, 3, 4, 9, 12, and 13. That's 6. Blood was in 1, 8, 12, and 13. That's 4. Blood could have done a little more. Slade and Tara are in 5 episodes of season 2, but I already explained my issues with that plotline. Key episodes lacking a theme seems to be a rising weakness. Tara and Wavelength don't have themes. I let the first episode of the 2-parters slide because it's a 2-part episode. The season also suffered from really weak episodes. Crash, Can I Keep Him, and Bunny Raven are some of the worst episodes so far. If you couldn't tell, I don't like the goofy episodes. They're inferior to regular episodes in every single way, and if you're dumb enough to argue it's for kids, the regular episodes are funnier than the goofy ones, so their existence is futile. But the season did have gems like Deception, X, Haunted, and The Beast Within. Spellbound and Betrothed weren't phenomenal, but they were still great episodes. Revolution was decent. My top 5 of the season are Deception, X, Haunted, The Beast Within, and Titans East. My top 5 overall are Masks, Only Human, Deception, Apprentice, and Winner Take All. The Hive Trio, or the High 5, which happens later, were underused in such a missed layup. They only appeared in the first episode of the season. They're literally the most notable Hive students, and they're only used once in the season, where the main antagonist is the head of the Hive. Why? The reason I like them so much is because they have the potential to serve as great foils for the Titans. They are a team of teenagers with distinct personalities, except they fight for evil rather than good. Deception dived into their team chemistry a little, but we could get so much more, and we do in the future. Like season 2, the music isn't really notable here, as opposed to season 1. I've been keeping track of how many episodes each character gets. As of season 3, Robin's score is 9.5, Cyborg's is 8.5, Starfire's is 7, Beast Boy 6.5, and Raven 5.5. I'm actually a little surprised. I expected Beast Boy and Starfire to be in swapped places. Also, the gap between Robin episodes and Raven episodes is pretty big. It puts into perspective how little she gets focused on for episodes compared to the rest. Luckily, the next season is the Raven season. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.